46 pedestrians.
Hello.
Yeah.
What is going on, Mr. Jim?
I don't know. It's just me and you. Where is everybody?
I don't know. Maybe you sent the meeting announcement too early this week.
Yeah, tricked them.
You tricked everybody.
That's okay. They'll show up about 5:30 or so.
Yeah. Anything new?
Uh, they got a new Hyundai and Kia introduced a new uni-wheel drive system that could revolutionize EV design. It's like the old wheel motor thing, except the motor's not in the wheel. It's got a planetary type gear in the wheel, and then it's going to do away with the CV joints, which no love lost there. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Have I had a CV? Actually, I think on the VW Bug, I had a CV joint go bad. I think that was the only one. Actually, I think it bent. I think the frame was too small or something, and the CV joints bent inward. So they made an after third party thing that you could stretch them back out and brace it in between to keep them from folding in on each other.
Oh yeah. I'll show this, and then we probably need to look at the schedule. We're good for January, and February, December, January, and February.
Okay.
No oddities there.
I might have a problem on the 15th
Oh, okay.
or the 14th.
Let's see. See if I can do something here. Ah. Get back to that. Well, we have been pretty flexible, so I think we can.
Yeah.
We don't care. Just let everybody know, and if we mess up, we won't be the first time.
Well, Steve just got in here, so maybe we could have Steve run the meeting on the 14th. It's an in-person meeting.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah. Grandkids have a Christmas play. And guess who gets to go see a Christmas play?
Oh, have fun.
So
Let
what do
me
we
make
say?
sure of that.
December 14th?
Yep.
So we need to move it?
No, no,
Everything's-
Steve can run the
Let,
show.
let me
Oh, okay.
verify that. Yep,
Okay.
I got, wait, oh, hold on, wrong month.
Wrong month.
Yeah, I don't have anything. That's cool.
There's the schedule. Everything looks good and we're good into February.
Yeah, it all looks good. Except for the 14th. I won't be there. I won't be there on the 14th, but because
You
I
can-
will
you can
be
check in using your phone while you're there.
I could
You could
try
be
that
away.
again. I could try that again. I will be in Kettering watching a Christmas play. So
Woohoo.
that is always fun, I guess.
Somehow I think using your phone during the play might raise the ire of your wife.
Somehow I think using the phone that was a painful experience. that was first I couldn't hear you guys, and then once I figured out how to do that, I couldn't see you guys, and then I couldn't figure out how to make me show up. That was a painful experience. I don't remember it ever being that bad. So whatever they've done, whatever they've changed, they've made it worse.
Nice.
Oh yeah, Steve, I was showing them a little earlier, they come up with a new drive system with like a planetary gear in the wheel. It's to do away with the CV joint. This is Kia and Hyundai, those two. For EV vehicles, it's supposed to save space for the vehicle itself. And you may recognize the opportunity. Well, I've got to go over and change that. Yeah. Huh. Okay. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Now, maybe. And that's what it's supposed to look like. This is supposed to do away with the CV joint and improve. It gives you more space on the chassis, and it's not a motor, not like the motor hub that we saw, because the motor is still connected to the chassis. So we'll see. There's an article. There's a link to the article in the news if you're
Okay.
but it's
That little axle has to spin really, really fast.
it's that's that planetary. Would that be a reduction gear?
It's not really a planetary.
Oh.
It's similar, but you've got a spur gear with 50 teeth running on a ring gear with 200. So the axle has to go faster than the wheel by a good chunk.
That's
Not
a
sh-
slightly different picture of it.
I'm not sure what problem that solves.
It gives them more space in the cars reportedly, and does away with the CV joint. And they can have the CV joint had a minimum rod distance, which meant that you had to put the motor more toward the center of the vehicle. by doing this, you can you can use a shorter rod, supposedly.
Okay.
So shorter drive rod. But the author was not sure. There's a couple of videos and that sort of thing that you can link to.
Is more torque really a problem with an EV? I mean, they're already pretty high torque engines anyway, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Really
mean-
torquey.
Squeeze more torque through the magic of gear reduction. Is that really a problem? I don't.
It's not a problem, but people like torque. Well, they do.
Yeah,
Get away from the line quick is fun.
they like speed. I'm with you.
I'm amazed that they're not manufacturing more hub motors for electric cars. Just put the motor in the wheel.
They're saying that it improves the efficiency somewhat. Okay. Oh, that's beyond me.
Well, hmm. Yeah, but this article that I just put a link to doesn't make it sound like they're going to get a whole lot more better efficiency, just some better efficiency.
Yeah, and more space for the chassis for seating and whatever, batteries and that sort of stuff. But we'll see. You never know. Toyota's working on a 750-mile battery. The solid state batteries supposedly be out in like 26.
That'd be fun.
But they're working on the sodium batteries too, other people. So everybody's going crazy with in the battery world. Looks like the new sodium battery is right now they got a cost issue. But that's how it goes.
Yeah, sodium we can get all we want of though. That's no problem.
Yeah.
Of course, you got to boil off a little bit of chlorine for that.
Well, they're saying they get a good they looking at a good power density, better power density, but if the cost if it's double or triple the cost, that's not going to be good.
The only sodium batteries I've seen required the sodium be kept hot enough to stay liquid. I wonder if they've gotten around that.
Yeah, we're humping the sodium reactors for years, but they never came into fruition. Sodium nuclear reactors for years. Hey Art, how you doing, man?
Pretty good.
How are you?
Yourself?
Good to see you.
Nice to see you guys too. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving.
Yep. All went well. I was able to hide in my little computer room for the most part. And the 9,000 people that were in this tiny apartment.
Yes.
So you hosted the Thanksgiving meal?
Yeah. Somehow or another, we ended up being the center. So we've got one kid who actually lives in the same complex we live in. We've got one kid that's 20-ish miles to the north of us and one kid that is 30th miles to the south of us. So somehow or another, we ended up in the center of, so they all come here.
Kind of surprised they're all on the same planet,
Ah,
I know mine, I don't know.
We
We
lucked out. I've got kids in Cincinnati that did Thanksgiving Day, and we went out to Indiana for Marla's kids, and we went to a friend's house on Saturday. So we had Thanksgiving 3 days in a row. And then
Yeah.
I had a doctor's appointment Tuesday. They're like, "Are you losing weight?" Nope, not this month.
you asked me at the wrong time of the year.
December doesn't look good either.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
checked
so-
in on Oak Ridge, make sure it was still there.
And still glowing.
Pretty much, yeah.
So with the sodium batteries, have they overcome the density problem?
They're claiming that they were better density, much better density, power density. But, we're not there yet. They're still theoretical. Art said, me and Art said, when's your production models? Let's see the batteries, let's see them. But right now they're saying the price is significantly higher. Better power density, but not lower price.
Oh, everything that I seem to find about them says that it's worse density.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And in some cases, it's significantly worse density.
Huh.
That should be
That's,
cheaper.
That's kilowatts per,
Watt hours versus, yeah, kilogram
versus,
Yeah.
that's per weight, basically.
per weight. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, since I see that Leroy's eating lunch, I'm gonna go in the family room and pick up mine, which my wife just reminded me was still sitting there. So,
You need to eat, Art.
yeah, so I don't pass out, I will,
Look what they did to the my new Moto phone, Moto G. It's got the Motorola emblem on it. That's kind of okay, but it boots up with a Moto emblem. I mean, it's back to Motorola, pumping Motorola again. It's got a nice Motorola logo.
so who owns Motorola now?
Well, the Chinese, I think. Yeah. Who was it? The computer people?
Lenovo
Yeah,
did.
Lenovo did. Yeah.
Yeah, that is what IBM became after the Chinese bought it.
The Chinese bought the PC and made Lenovo. The ThinkPad went Lenovo.
Yep.
Oh, maybe they're smart. If they're smart, they'll hang on to the Motorola logo because they can make you think it's American.
Well, that's probably a significant portion of the IP that they purchased.
And with the new system, I it started booting and rebooting all night long, and it's driving me crazy. It turns out it's my new Bluetooth headset was making it reboot. How in the world did that happen?
So if you unplug the headset, it stops.
If I turn the headset off because it doesn't plug in, it's Bluetooth.
Oh,
I leave the Bluetooth headset off, it won't reboot. but it's got controls on it. Yeah, a lot of that Bluetooth headsets have control forward to the next song and volume control, and that really doesn't surprise me significantly. But I got to be careful with it. At night, if it reboots, that's not too bad. But I was talking to the cops today, and it rebooted. That was not pleasant.
Hello, Moto.
Yeah, they call me Jim when I call in now. I just do the truck things.
Now
Yeah,
this
does
is that's my 2022, 23 model, and
Yeah,
it's got the Motorola logo.
yeah. They had the logo, but when it booted up, it's got a huge Motorola logo, and it with waves coming out of the center. I mean, they made it the center point, and I hadn't seen that before.
pretty sure mine does that. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
I
Well,
got
I've had the
a
21,
logo too.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't get that to focus.
Yeah, that's a new. I haven't seen that before. Of course, I've been back probably 21 model or 2020 or 2021. I just got the 3-camera one. I'm way behind.
They've
They're up to
They've-
17 cameras now.
Yeah, right.
40,000 cameras.
Yeah, and 50 megapixels and whatever. And it turns out it's just a 12 megapixel camera 3 times. Okay, come on, guys, stop the crap. And the Chinese picked up on it now. So when you see the new 12 megapixel cameras, it's 3 cameras or 4 cameras to get 12 megapixels. Yeah, 3 cameras to get 12 megapixels. It's just 3 different cameras. And they claim, why do they do that? That's not fair. It's misleading.
Moto.
Yeah, that's a good. I like that new logo.
Well, I don't really think that's a new logo. I think that's
Well, it's new to me. I'd never seen it before till I got my new phone. Well, I'm into this century, century with my phones now.
I'm pretty sure that my previous phone showed the Moto logo, but it wasn't quite as long. It didn't last as long. And it came up and it said hello Moto instead of it printed hello Moto in letters instead of saying it.
Hold both volume keys for 3 seconds to use talkback.
What? Turn talkback. What?
I think that was Art, not you.
Oh no. It did something. That was my okay, fine. What are you doing? You flipping phone. Oh, well, that would help. I put in the case upside down. So it was holding the volume key down.
Oopsies.
Freaking the whole thing out.
The Motorola that I bought, I guess 6 years ago or so, when it started up, it did that Hello Moto thing and was loud.
Loud.
Yeah,
And
that's been around for years. Yeah, even I had that on mine.
but I
yeah.
figured on that one I couldn't turn it off. On every one since then, I've been able to.
Yeah. That's my old one.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe that was it. But it doesn't have the waves coming out of it.
No, but it's the Motorola logo.
Yeah.
It's been there.
Okay.
And I'm fairly sure that even my old one had the Motorola logo. But they all said this one was, yeah, even my old one, which you can't see, but it's the Motorola logo. It's too bright. There it is. This one, this one says, hello, Moto. And
Yeah.
this one finally decided to finish booting up. And then it finally gets and says Lenovo. Like they're proud that they've bought Motorola. But this one, I am fairly sure was from 20. Oh, this one's an old one. 2020, maybe.
So I'm not the only one with an assortment of Moto phones.
Hello, Moto.
Yeah, mine's a Moto G powered 2021, and I'm about 90% sure around February I'm going to replace it. Get one that does 5G.
This one, my oldest one, the last security update was 2019, so it's way older than that.
Oh.
This one's a good one. You throw it at the grandkid, and say, "Watch your YouTube videos." And if something happens to it, you go, "Oh well."
Bummer. Yeah, I
This-
just checked uptime on this one, 201 hours.
I just rebooted mine. I didn't even look to see how long it was.
That's pretty good. Mine, I restart it, yeah, once a month, maybe once every other month.
I really only restart mine.
When
Well,
it's doing something stupid.
yeah. And that doesn't happen as often as it used to. I mean, they used to do stupid things all the time. Let's see. This one is my Moto G stylus, the old stylus, and its last security update, it doesn't say. Huh. That's bad. It's got Android 11 on it. 2022.
How do you set up the different ringtones for different people? Where's that?
I think you hold the contact that you want a different ringtone tone for
Uh-huh.
and select a different ringtone. That
Oh,
one's a 2022 was the last update that it got. So these are old phones. They've had the Motorola logo though. Jim's just been behind.
which is a no shock to anybody. But my Bluetooth is wonderful. I just turned on my speaker thing in the bathroom and boom, it connects up right now. I go somewhere else and connect up to the one that I use at night. Besides rebooting the computer or the phone regularly, it works great. Picks up, no problem. Bluetooth, I'm pleased with.
I wonder why it's rebooting your phone now.
Yeah.
That's
That's
kind of
wacky.
weird.
It also has the microphone built in too. I noticed that the other day.
Yeah.
So it's a full function. I guess you can hang up your phone or and reboot. I don't know. It says SY8 on the ID on it. It's a fancy one. It has the battery charge level in percent. Oh yeah, it's fancy.
Which one did you end up with? The G Play?
No, it's
Power.
it's a power.
The power?
22, I think. Mine's a power 22. Yeah, the powers are wonderful. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I
It's Vicente.
Hi. You
I like the stylus, the ones that have the stylus. I do a lot of just random note taking, so.
I need to start doing more notes. My brain is going on the fritz.
I like Motorola phones. I don't like Lenovo, but I like Motorola phones. Go try to figure that contradiction out.
It looks like there's some competition in the low end. The Lenovo's, the Motorola's have had dominated the lower end for years. I think they're getting some competition now.
Well, Lenovo does weird things though. Like my previous generation, G, it doesn't have the NFC tag in it. But the previous generation had the NFC in it.
What I'm mad about is they changed the print screen function, driving me crazy. It was on the on-off button for a while.
Yep. You
And
can
then
still do
I
that.
did the 3-finger salute, would do it for a while, and now that doesn't work. I don't know.
Oh, I can still do 3 fingers, and I can still hit the down button and the volume,
Down button and the volume.
or down the volume down and the power button. We'll take a
Oh, that's
picture.
different. That's one. That's how I used to get into the safe mode.
Well, if you take the volume down button and the power button and hold them at the same time, you get a screenshot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that works on mine.
Mine also.
And I can also do the 3 fingers thing, and it just took a screenshot. I've actually gotten quite used to doing the 3 finger thing. It actually makes a lot of sense.
Mine
And-
just opens up whatever the last thing I touched was.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that I don't remember exactly where it is. I'm pretty sure it's a setting, maybe under gesture control or something like that.
Oh, I've turned off all the gesture stuff.
Yeah.
It can't have my battery.
Yeah, got emergency lockdown, power off, and restart, and no print screen on the power button.
Yeah.
And it used to do that.
Yeah. I never liked it there though. The yeah, I think it was under gesture control or something. You know, I don't really notice a whole lot of battery problem. I do have NFC turned off on this, even though I complained that this one didn't have it. I never use it. So I don't know why I need it.
I'm on their web page right now, and the Moto G stylus is the cheapest thing there.
Mm.
The 2023 in glam pink, $149.
Oh, that is cheap. I paid $250 for this one.
Yeah. And they've got a Moto 5G or Moto G 5G for 180 in blue, which that's a plus.
Yeah. Well, we got ours. Me and Patty both got the same phone this year, which is the first time we've done that. But they're both green, and I figured that it was green. That's why it was on sale. And okay, I'm sorry, Art.
Hey,
You're crunching a little too much.
It's extra crunchy.
We gotta mute Art for now. But I figured it was on sale because it was green. And then I turned around and bought her a red case and me a black case, and you can hardly tell that it's green.
Yeah.
So buying the hot pink probably wouldn't be a big deal if you stick it inside of a case.
Is yours 5G?
Is mine the 5G? Yes. Yes, it
Oh,
is.
okay. Well, that one's 250. The Moto G Stylus 5G 2023 in cosmic black.
Yeah. I am fairly sure that I bought last year's model, not this year's model. But instead of having the 256 gigs, I've got 512 gigs of storage space.
Good Lord.
Yeah, there's no reason I need anything close to that, but I figured the cost difference between the one that had the 256 and this one being on sale was like $5 or something. I was like, well, of course I will spend an extra $5. I will never use that much storage space, but it's actually a SD card. So if I really needed storage space, I could just open this up and pull the SD card out.
They sent a. Really?
Yep.
Oh, that's weird.
And it's a 256 gig on board and 256 gig SD card.
Okay.
So it's they're faking 512 is what they're doing.
I think I've got 32 on board and a 32 gig SD, and I'm at half full.
My old one had 256 and I never even got close to using 256. But I figured if you're going to charge me $10 for a 256 gig card, that seems like a heck of a deal. So I did it. I think they just wanted to get rid of the green ones because the green ones weren't selling. I don't see anybody else walking around with green Moto phones.
And I usually have a case delivered before I get the phone. So I don't care what color it is.
Yeah. That's the old one. It's kind of a blue fading up to black. It's kind of a pretty phone. But I think that one was $150. I bought both of these phones directly from Motorola. And then I went on eBay and bought the cases because Motorola wanted a fortune for a case.
Yeah, like 25 bucks.
Oh, more than that. They wanted like $40 or $50 for a case. I'm like,
Oh,
yeah, no. I'll spend $10 on eBay and get a case. But I've been using you know, I like Motorola phones. The first Motorola phone I had was when Google actually owned the brand. So
okay, that's been a while.
it was a while. I was a Moto Z. And that was one of their flagship phones. And that thing was awesome.
Are they hyping what do they call it, Razor? I see Razor in some of their ads.
Yeah. Yep, that one's back. That's the little folding phone.
Oh,
The cheapest you can get one of those looks to be about 400.
Oh.
Nah, 500.
500.
So what's the deal with folding phones?
From my perspective, it's more likely to die. So
Although the
if I
folding
was
phones
selling
is-
them, I'd
it's a
love to.
great, I think it's a great selling point, because how many folding phones did you break did you break the screen on? None. Because when you're not using it, it's folded up and protected. So I think that aspect is very positive.
Yeah. My my dad actually had one of the original flip phones, and they was still active up until last year, maybe a year and a half.
Oh,
And
no one here has broken the screen on a flip phone, right? No one has broken their screen on their Motorola smartphone. No, I know Leroy hasn't, and I haven't a couple of times.
the
Well, now a folding phone is different than a flip phone, right?
Yes.
Well, it should protect the screen if it's folded up when you're not using it and you have it in your pocket. And these new
Unless
phones, they're too tall and it'll fall out of your pocket too easy.
I think the biggest difference is the size of the screen.
Oh,
See, on the flip phones, or on the new flip phones, you get a full size screen when you unflip it. And on the old flip phones, you get a little, you don't get Android or anything. It's just a little display that says make phone calls.
yeah.
And so dad T-Mobile forced him to buy a new phone, and he got a good Motorola phone from them. He didn't get the Razor because it was $600, but he got another phone that he liked, and he hates it because it does so much. He just wants a phone to make phone calls. That's all he cares about, is making phone calls. So he hates his new phone. Of course, he's 90 something. So
you can get him a phone that just is a flip phone. They still sell them.
yeah, but the company, T-Mobile, he had one, and T-Mobile just uh forced eventually forced him to do it. I think that old phone that he had was like either 2 or 3G. I mean, it was old.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It was time to make it go away.
So 2G is still available?
Not really.
I thought 3G was dead.
I think there are a few spots where you can still get a 2G connection, but that was sunset, 5 years ago? And 3G should be being sunset like really soon.
Consumer Cellular pushes their Iris flip phone. That one's $35. And they use Verizon's towers. They're relatively cheap.
My brother just went Verizon for his home internet. He's very happy. Of course, he's not a power monger like some people are. Who will
Wouldn't mind, yeah.
mention Leroy?
So what was the max number of phones that any of you had active at any given point in time?
2, company and personal.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm talking about not the number of phones, the number of phone vendors that you had active at one time.
2.
Okay.
Yeah, I have, Magic Jack and Mint. Yeah.
Yeah, I have I've had several phones, but they've all been either on Sprint or a single provider. I
Well,
mean,
Sprint is now T-Mobile, right?
there's something. There, um,
Because I had
I
Sprint
can't
and
keep up
they
with
forced
Sprint.
me to go to T-Mobile.
I can't keep up with what they're doing. I mean, technically, um, Mint Mobile is part of T-Mobile. So technically I'm on T-Mobile, but I will say to the end that I am not.
Are you still finding some dead spots there, Leroy?
After I got this 5G phone, no, I don't have any problem at all with it.
Because at one time there was a dead spot by your granddaughter's
By the school.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if I take that back. I went into a building and it went down to LTE speeds, but it never disconnected. So
But this was inside a building.
it was inside a building. So I guess there are still a few areas that are weak, but I've never had a real problem with once I got this 5G phone. I never really had a real problem with it. Of course, there at the hospital, I had to go outside because I think hospitals have some weird thing in the windows or something to help block signals or whatever.
Yeah, they don't like when I was at Kaiser, they didn't like cell phones at all
Yeah.
because they have other wireless equipment on the 2.4 band, and apparently they don't play nicely together.
Yeah. So I every hospital around here that I've gone to, basically, unless I'm sitting right next to a window, I don't get any cell service. But I kind of expect it at hospitals. And I think it's because of the equipment they use. So
This is also true in casinos. They do not like cell phones in casinos. I'll leave it to your imagination why.
Yeah.
Um, yes. So I looked up Verizon sunsetting. They started closing down 3G in 2019, and they excuse me, they extended it to 2022 because of some customers that could not change. So
Well, my ADT security system in Milford came out and changed their cell phone connection to a new one that has 5G on it. And they did that about 2 years ago because they said, 3G is going away and blah, blah, blah. Because they have it set up so that if your network goes down, they don't care. Basically, they have it set up so that they're completely independent of any customer wireless system. Oh, Ken's showing up.
Well, I was trying to find out when they actually sunset 2G, because there are there are a few things that are still using 2G, but I don't think they're selling. Well, I know they're not selling anything now that uses 2G. But I can't find when they actually sunset 2G. I know it was a while ago.
Any idea what the timeline is for 4G?
No, I haven't come across anything that talks about 4G. 4 and 5G are still pretty relevant. And apparently 3G was still kind of relevant up until 2022. So
Well, T-Mobile forced us to get new phones sometime in late 22.
yeah.
And at that time, they were only selling 5G capable phones.
Yep.
And I don't know if you go there now to any of the phone stores, whether or not there's anything but 5G available.
Like, I don't think you can get any any legacy phones now. But like that article that I had just read said with Verizon, because they wanted to still support some of their business customers, they left the 3G on 3 years past what they were scheduling it to shut down. So maybe they're making exceptions for certain business models.
I found a page says AT&T stopped 2G in 2017, Verizon in 2020, Sprint in December of 2021, and T-Mobile in December of 2022.
For the 2G.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was on T-Mobile by that time, and they said, you got to get a new phone, period. Because I had a 3G capable phone, and they said, no good.
Well, that's pretty much what they told my dad too, was your phone will just stop working. And they forced him to upgrade to a phone he doesn't like. So.
So according to this, LTE stands for long-term evolution, and 4G LTE should be around a while. And 5G is backward compatible with 4G.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So which of these did they actually have to change the transponders on the towers?
Well, 5G is a completely different transponder. It's a higher frequency, so
different frequencies, the whole 9 yards. Yeah.
and the
So
towers are small. They're on our street here and near home, and they look to be 25 feet tall and the size of a telephone pole in diameter.
Huh.
They don't have the big array of 3 antennas sticking out of the top. They've got
Well,
about 15 antennas, but they're not nearly as visible.
So they actually have these in people's yards?
They're in the grass area between the sidewalk and the street along the road where I'm working.
Hmm.
And they're small enough they can just put them on the side of a phone pole.
Hmm. The spatial density of them has to be much higher, I assume.
Yes.
If you've ever walked around or drove around and you've seen these cans on top of poles, that's what he's talking about.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
They've just showed up. They just show up randomly.
So they don't put them on the towers that had the old array of, multiple. So they don't even go on the same towers.
They could look like that to blend into the neighborhood. They look
Yeah,
weird.
that's what we've got here on our street.
Put them up on old telephone or old light fixtures. So basically your coverage is street level instead of sky level.
Hmm.
And that
On the interstates, they've got to use the old towers. Because there you can see the spacing on those.
those new towers or the new setup is one reason why you can have internet at home fairly reliable now too. Because you might be 100 foot away from a tower instead of a mile and a half away from a tower.
Yeah. A cell is about 4 miles in diameter. Round numbers, they space towers out for 4G about every 4 miles.
Yep.
And for 5G, it's more like half a mile.
Yep. So when you're out driving down, one of the roads, look up and you'll see them. They're spaced out every quarter of a mile, half mile, something like that. They do, they overlap. They overlap each other.
So this means that out in the boonies someplace, like you're plowing your cornfield,
Mhm.
you don't have cell phone.
That's what I was thinking.
But it also means that they don't have to maintain a large tower. So the theoretical cost of these small antennas would be cheaper if they can run the fiber out, which is what they're doing. They're running fiber out to these poles. Eventually, they will get the rural areas connected up.
But if I've got a 40-acre farm that I'm plowing,
Yeah, you
My
might have a
cell-
problem.
my cell phone is not going to connect as I'm tooling around on my tractor.
So I think there's an option that you can deploy some of your own stuff out there or get one of your cell providers to do it for you. They need electric, basically, is what they need.
Yeah, they need power.
As long as you've got well, I've seen large farms that have power ran out to them. So as long as there's a way to get power to them, as long as they can connect and mesh up together, they should be all right.
But they're
Well-
gonna run, that's gonna cause fiber to be everywhere. Oh, they-
Everywhere.
They put fiber in front of my yard by the road and they put flags on them. They marked them the other day. They're MCI.
That's because I bet if you watch over the next few months, you'll end up getting some 5G towers put up on the street poles.
Hmm.
So that's what they did here in Springboro. And they ran fiber and then they started coming along and putting the 5Gs up.
Was it MCI?
No, I don't think it was MCI, it was somebody else. But they're all contractors. They all it's contract work. So
Well, the last time I was in Milford, which was, I guess, 4 or 5 months ago at this point, I see a number of these so-called, these things that say ditch witch on the side of them. And those are the things that they bore down at an angle and then horizontally along for, I don't know, a few hundred yards. And then they come up, and that's how they deliver the fiber. The fiber is inside that conduit.
Yeah, it was just orange plastic tubing.
Well,
here.
that's the conduit. The orange plastic is the conduit,
Yeah,
and then the fiber goes inside that conduit. The conduit is, I don't know, 2.5, 3 inches in diameter, not very big diameter. And I know those things were all over the place in our neck of the woods, and I even have pictures of them coming by the front of our house. They basically put the conduit underneath the sidewalk.
and they pull a wire through it too, by the way.
Well, yeah, but once you've got the conduit in place, you can put a wire through it pretty easily.
Yeah, they put a wire through it so they can locate it.
Yeah.
Same with the gas lines over here. They have a wire by the gas lines, outside the gas lines. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
did you notice that Vicente joined me on the blimp?
Yes. Yes. He has the same cloud pattern also.
Yeah, only his is going that way.
No,
No,
No, from my perspective, they're both oriented the same way.
really, from my perspective, they're one's going this way and one's going this way.
Yeah, they're the same
Interesting.
way over here. Yeah.
Ah, we're in the same game. I messed around a little bit with
robot.
the robot, that robot,
Mhm.
Okay.
and I tried like heck to get this to work right. That's a gesture sensor, and it works, but it's either too slow or too fast, and I cannot find a happy in between. So it usually in fast mode, there's two modes to this sensor. There's fast and slow mode. And in fast mode, it'll register like twice. If you move too slow, it like registers twice. Or, bringing your hand towards it and then backing away, if you don't have it just in the right time, it'll register that as, a forward motion and then like a down motion, or a forward motion and a right motion. So I have not been able to get the timing right, but for the most part, well, it works ish. So I'm only sensing left, right, up, down, forward, and backward. It will also sense a circular pattern, a clockwise and counterclockwise pattern, and it will sense something else. So sometimes it senses something that I don't even care about. It's just built into its internal firmware. But I'm only caring about, the 6 things that I care about, and then to get the robot to stop, I programmed the button as an actual stop button. So there's a stop button. So I will show my So I don't know if you saw, but I had just did the forward motion. And that was left, and then it should change to right. And I think it just went backwards. And there it goes forwards. And then it immediately decided that it needed to go backward again. And if I go in a downward motion, that will slow it down. And you could kind of see that it is slowing down. And if I go up, that's supposed to speed it up. So I'm going up now. You could see that it's, or you should be able to see that it's getting a little faster. So I basically took the same control sketch that I used for the voice sensor on the robot, and just made this send the numbers that the robot was looking for. So I didn't change anything on the robot itself. I just using a different sensor to control it. And that video actually was one of the better ones. Most of the time, it will sense dozens and dozens of different things before it, or it'll sense 2 or 3 things at the same time and send the wrong command to the robot. And I know it's a timing thing. I just cannot figure out the right times. The library for the sensor actually has built into it a two different timing settings, and they both affect how it works. And you need to change both of them. And I've been playing around with changing them. I just can't find what works best. So that's what I played around with this week. And they're back in stock.
Uh,
So
a new one?
Yep.
Okay.
I haven't even taken that one out of the package.
This is a Center?
No, this is M5 stack. This is the card pooter.
How long? 2 weeks?
Yeah, it was about 2 weeks. This is the one. It's too bright. You guys can't see it. It's got the keyboard. It's got SD card. It's got the stamp S3 on it. It's a nice little compact deal that I want to
I-
turn into a LoRa communicator. So I'm going to attach the LoRa board to it using the Lego connectors that are on both of those, and hopefully be able to walk around and communicate over LoRa to its friend.
Very good.
That's the idea anyway. So far, I hate this module. Hate it. Hate it with a passion.
Tell us how you really feel there, Leroy.
Generally speaking, I really like M5 stacks stuff, but this is a LoRa WAN module, not a LoRa module. And for whatever reason, they chose to remove the LoRa firmware, so you can't even force it to go into LoRa mode. It is a LAN module or a WAN module, and it was meant for the thing network. Now, every other LoRa WAN module in the world that does LoRa WAN also will do LoRa, because LoRa WAN is on top of LoRa. So I can force this chip to go into LoRa mode and not use it as a WAN. But not this one. This one. And apparently that is a
LoRa
some-
brick.
it's a thing that several people have said was a huge mistake. I am looking, somebody eventually is going to hack the firmware of this thing and figure out how to make it do it, because it should be able to do it. I mean, there's no real reason why it shouldn't be able to do it. But basically, with a LoRa WAN, you need a gateway. And you need this thing sends like an encryption key to the gateway, blah, 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 and it has its own IP address, only it's not an IP address. It's more like a MAC address, but it's not even really a MAC address. And then you need a consumer key and something else, especially if you want to talk to the Thing network. But I don't want to talk to the Thing network. I want my own private network, which means I'm going to have to break down and buy an expensive gateway to make these two actually talk, or just throw them in a box and wait for somebody to hack the firmware. Which do you think I will do?
Let me guess.
They're going in a box.
I thought those things had a range of miles
Yes.
without a gateway.
Okay. So if it's just strictly with LoRa, you don't need the gateway. But the LoRaWAN is, and these were specifically designed to work with the Thing network, not anything else. Now you can make them work with other gateways, but the Thing network doesn't have gateways around us, so that's pretty, you know, we can't use the Thing network here yet. I could buy a Thing network gateway and do it myself, but that's expensive. So the Thing network gateways look very much like the 5G towers, and they're put up on telephone poles around various large cities, mostly not around here and mostly not in the United States. But
Well, that's convenient.
yeah,
So anytime you're in the Soviet Union, it's,
well, they do have some in the United States. It's just not around here. But you know, they of course want you to buy the gateway and stick it up there, and then anybody can use the gateway. But you, with the consumer keys and whatever, you can set up your own private network inside the wider network, which just sounds like a pain in the keister to me. But yes, if you're going to buy LoRaWAN devices or LoRa devices, don't buy them from M5 Stack, because they did something funky to them. This one that I've got, that's a 900 megahertz, 915 megahertz. That is a Grove connector, Grove from Seed Studio. It was $17, which is still too expensive, but it was $17 for that. This particular module is capable of doing both LoRa and LoRaWAN, and Seed Studio even provided a peer-to-peer demo on how to do it. The unfortunate part is it appears that it only wants to send numbers. It doesn't want to send text. So I've got to figure that out. I ran into that problem with one of the other LoRa devices I had, though. It only wanted to send hex codes instead of text, so you had to convert the text to hex before you sent it, which was crazy. But so my initial idea was to strap that on there. If I get a gateway, that would work great, no problem. But now I 3D printed a case, and I could do the same thing. I'll just strap that case on there, get me a good external antenna, throw the external antenna up on the car, and go from there and see what happens. But I got to get them working first. They do work. They will send numbers to each other. They just won't send text, and text is what was the whole point of having a keyboard. So that's my fun adventure.
Great.
didn't you do an experiment driving around in the car with a LoRa system
Yeah,
a couple of years ago, I think it was?
yeah, it was a while ago, and in with those I was using this kind of antenna, you know, not
Your dash,
yeah,
your car.
it wasn't the greatest antenna in the world, but it was, you know, better than just a wire. And that's the good thing about these from Seed Studio. They've got the IPX connector, so all I need to do is, you know, get a SMA to IPX, and throw a good antenna up and I should be all right. It should be fine. And for the short distances that I really want to use this, it should work really well, you know, because the furthest I'm going to go is, you know, maybe Kroger's, which is a couple miles from the house. So, but my PSA is don't buy these.
Hey, today at Kroger, they looked like they were putting some sort of charger out in one of the parking spaces. Looked like they're gonna have a car charger or something.
There in Monroe?
Yeah.
Huh, cool.
Super fancy little thing poking up in the air about a 5 foot by 2 foot wide thing that folds out on
We-
both sides with a receptacle.
Just one of them?
Yep.
Because here
Closest to the building.
every store and grocery and so forth and so on has an array of maybe 6 of them, something like that.
Ah,
Of course, our density of EVs may be a little higher here.
yeah.
Maybe.
I know Bucky's had like 10 of them.
See, Myers
So-
down in Westchester has, I think, 10.
Ah. Well, yeah, they're like art. They're into money. They're in the money areas, so that's why they got them around art.
Well, you gotta realize that when you pull up to a traffic light here in a Toyota, you are probably the only one waiting on the light is not a Tesla.
Ah,
Considering the Tesla Fremont factory is like, a mile as the crow flies from my front door. We have a little higher density than normal.
What do you think of the Cybertruck?
What do I think?
Yeah, what do you think?
I haven't driven one, so I don't have an opinion.
Oh,
I think some of
Sure.
the demos where they shoot the door and they kick the door and they throw a baseball at the door, and those are pretty funny. They're entertaining. Let me put it that way.
yep. I'm reminded of Microsoft Windows 98 demo. Go ahead, go ahead. Oh, it blue screened. Yep, throw the
Oops.
ball. It won't break. Yep, sure. Sure it won't. I'll do it
Well,
again. That was a fluke. Do it again.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Told my dad, I said, I bet we're going to start seeing. I see Rivians around here, and I see the F-150 Lightnings around here. I said, I bet somebody is going to end up with a Cybertruck around here.
Well, they're released either today or
was-
Monday.
I thought it was today.
Maybe today. Yeah.
They started shipping over a month ago, but they're real slow.
It's Barry.
Hi, Barry.
We forgot to say hi to Barry. Hi, Barry.
Hi,
Yeah,
Barry. In your usual anonymous mode, I see.
yeah, I can't afford them fancy cameras like you guys all have.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. I thought it was your employer didn't like the cameras.
They don't care.
Barry just doesn't want us to see him. He's incognito.
Well, he's probably sitting there in his underwear, you know, and it's, it's, you know, it's,
Thank you for that image.
Yeah, bad art, bad. Uh, yeah.
well, they have all these YouTube videos where it turns out the announcers sitting there with a suit jacket on and no pants. Hey,
What do you got, Mr. Vicente?
yeah, what
This
you
is
building?
this is the cheapest robot that use the microbit, BBC microbit, the British controller for kids. You see?
Mhm.
But the robot comes without it. You pay 29 bucks in Amazon. So the web page of the robot, they only have support for the make block, the program that is graphical interface. So you don't know anything about this platform. You don't know the address of the controller, I2C controller. You don't know the protocol. You don't know where the RGB LEDs are mapped, the front headlights of the road,
Mm-hmm.
the infrared remote, a couple of neopixels here, the white squares. So I spent the last 2 days just doing reverse engineering, and I soldered this connector here, the white connector. The connector is a glow connector, but the pin assignment is different. So I connected a logic analyzer to understand how the make block program sends commands. So now I can program this with the ESP32 board that is pin compatible with the microbit. This is the microbit, and this is the ESP32.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The microbit use LEDs, the ESP32 use neopixels, an array of neopixels. It has a speaker, integrated speaker here, and the ESP32. So the people that made this board, they give you the cross
Mm-hmm. correlation
between these pins and the pins of the microbit. But I had to figure out where all the stuff is connected to the microbit connector.
Who makes the chassis?
The chassis is from these people. I don't know if you see.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yaboom.
yeah,
Yaboom.
yeah.
Yeah, they make a lot of little various style of robots.
Yeah, but they don't give you any technical details of how it's done, because they protect the business, trying to keep their libraries. The libraries are in .x files. You never know what they contain. You use the online make block software, and you load the X file as a library. So you have a graphical interface, but you never know what's going on in the hardware side. But now I have all the reverse, all the connectors. I tested everything, and now I have programs in MicroPython and in Arduino working with everything. So I will start to make some stuff.
Yeah. It
I have a problem with the motors. They are too fast. They have a new model that they call Plus, the same thing, but Plus, and they have motors that are 10 times slower to design a moving robot without hysterical movements.
mm-hmm.
So I have the new motors in a drawer in the basement. I will change them to make this thing go slow. And
So they're not variable speed.
yes, they are PWM. This
Oh,
It-
okay.
microcontroller. It controls the motors with PWM signals and also control the RGB LEDs with PWM signals. So I figured out the address of the different signals, and now I can make a library to control the motors and the headlights. I also tested the ultrasonic distance ranger. It's working. The infrared is working. The neopixels in the robot are working also.
Okay.
The last thing I did this afternoon was to figure out where the line sensors, these two sensors, are connected, because they are connected through an amplifier and then to the microbit connector. So now I know where the lines are. So I will try to sense the black and white colors in the paper and to see how it works. Now I can also use this buzzer to play melodies.
Well, you could actually do two different tones at the same time with the two different buzzers.
But there is a library to produce all the notes simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge thing, but doesn't sound nice in a buzzer. Sounds better the single tone playing. You lose a lot of quality in trying to mix frequencies in a buzzer. It's too, maybe in a speaker will be okay, but not in a buzzer.
Wow.
So that's it.
You're right. They really don't give much away, do they?
No, nothing. I check everywhere. I also received this from, you see, okay. But you don't know the address or
Yeah. Yeah, they just give you the hex. They don't give you anything.
you load those X in your like a library,
Yeah.
and then you never know what's going on.
Wow. I'm actually surprised they don't give you more.
Well, it's their way of protect their business, because if not anyone can do a compatible robot for half the price. So
Yeah, but I mean that DF robot Marquine, that thing was kind of closed source, but it was more open than that. I was able to figure
Yeah.
out a whole lot without doing a whole lot of
I don't know. Maybe because they want to be cheap
yeah,
and competitive because
Yaboom seems to clone a lot of stuff from DF Robot.
this is another thing I received was delivered by AliExpress. This thing costs like $9, and you can check anything with it. You can check resistors, transistors, inductors, capacitors, centers, all kind of stuff. Very, very good. It's very practical.
Neat.
You put a transistor and it tells you what kind of transistor is. If it's a bipolar or a MOSFET, if it's okay, the HFF of the bipolar. It also identify infrared messages here. You see this thing here, this whole infrared. Let me show you. I will turn it on and use the infrared signal. Okay, let me put this in some way.
Technical problem. Yeah.
You see?
Yeah, you gotta get
Oh,
it
yeah.
pointed the right way.
Well, that's
It's a
Cool.
decoder for the IR.
that would be handy to know sometimes.
Yeah. It has a micro USB charger here. Where you plug in when you plug in this thing, oh, it's USB C? No. Oh, yes. No, no, it's USB, micro USB. You see? This LED changed to, supposedly is red, but you don't see red, but it changed to white when it's charged. Now it's red.
It's kind of red, yeah.
Yeah, but maybe it's too bright.
Neat.
What else? I bought two mouses, wireless mouses for $7 each, free delivery from Amazon. This is my Black Friday stuff. I bought two of them. This is in the closed box still, and this is the open one.
Oh, wireless. Oh, good. Yeah, I
I
like those. Mine, mine goes dead. You whack it and it comes back on.
You have like six months with a AA battery.
Yeah.
It's a nice looking mouse.
Yeah, it works pretty well. I'm using this with a laptop, but I will change it.
Cool. Now I need a wireless keyboard. My next need one for $4. Yeah.
$4 for a
Yeah.
wireless keyboard.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think they can find it.
Well, I bought no wireless, the USB in Micro Center a couple of years ago, they used to have a $4.99 keyboard USB,
Ooh.
Oh,
but was like a small, tiny one
yeah.
with their brand, their brand. I don't remember.
Yeah, I
What's the brand of Micro Center?
um
Winland or
Not
Yeah.
Logitech.
no.
no, their brand, their own brand. Well, I don't know.
In
Inland.
inland. Yes.
Yes.
I wanted to say inspec. That's not right. I bought my Logitech keyboard and mouse combo. I got it at Walmart for like $20. It's not the best keyboard in the world, but it was only $20. And it came with the mouse.
And that has a little USB dongle that goes with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a bunch of those. Those are my go-to keyboard mouse combination.
Yeah.
And my best keyboard is with the Raspberry Pi over there. You see?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
This is a mechanical keyboard.
Mine's not horrible. It's not a horrible keyboard. Yeah, it was cheap enough.
What I find, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say I like it because it only used one dongle instead of two.
Yeah.
All right, Jim, the best I see at Micro Center is $10, and it's a combination of standard keyboard and mouse for $10. Looks like it's
Bluetooth?
on sale right now.
Bluetooth
I
or
doubt it.
dongle? Yeah.
So I Googled cheapest wireless keyboard, and for Bluetooth, the cheapest I'm seeing is $6 from Walmart for
Oh,
a Travel Want Ultra Slim Bluetooth keyboard.
oh,
$5.97 plus 60 cents estimated tax.
That's closer than my $10.
yeah. Do you have to order it and pay shipping or deliver to the store, or they have it at the store? Hard to figure
Pickup
that
not
out.
available, delivery not available.
Okay. So it's a
That
good
makes it
price, but
difficult.
not available, basically.
Oh no, they'll ship it to you.
For a nominal fee. Okay.
So
All right.
the inland keyboard from Micro Center was designed for Windows XP.
Really?
That's
All
what it
right.
says on the box. Windows XP.
That's called new old stock.
New old stock. Right there. XP and Vista. You can
All
barely
right.
see it. Barely see it, but it's right there. But yes, it's got a dongle. But
Now all I need is a Bluetooth virtual reality screen, so I can see the screen from across the room too.
Wow.
I've seen plenty of extended screens, but I don't know if I've ever seen a Bluetooth extended screen.
I want one that fits in my glasses, like virtual reality. Yeah.
All right, now you're out of your $5 budget there.
Yeah.
Loaning out. Yeah.
You are
I guess
way out of
not.
your. To multiply that by, 100 maybe, and you'll get closer. So I was looking at some of the transparent OLEDs. They're $22 for a small one. I was thinking about maybe being able to take a transparent OLED and sticking it on one of my lenses. And now I can still see through and still get information.
We should be getting close with the projectors now. I could project on the wall. What do you think?
You want a projector, Jim? I'll bring you a projector next in-person meeting.
Oh, I need high resolution though for all my
It's
cameras.
it's an HD it's an HD camera or HD projector. Pretty sure it's 1080p. I'll bring it to you. I'll give it to you.
Oh, okay. I don't
Okay,
know.
I want
Good.
more information here. How many have you got?
So actually this is a Mike find. He found two of them. One of them did not work, so it went away. The other one worked fine. It eventually the bulb in it blew up, and the bulb was 20 some odd dollars. I replaced it. Never actually. I used it. May have 4 or 5 hours on the bulb, so the bulb should be good. It works fine. I bought a remote for it, which I think was $7 or $8 for the remote. But the deal is the apartment's too small, and it was too small. Even when I was trying to watch movies, I had to put blackout curtains up and do all that.
Oh,
You just
And
don't have enough contrast or what?
yeah, it's just too small. I mean, I'm sitting right next to the projector, and the projector is, I've got maybe 6, maybe 8 feet between the projector and the wall. It's really just not enough room to make a big picture. So, I mean, I guess technically I got about $30 invested in this thing, but it was basically given to me, and it's a good projector. It's just I can't use it. It's not something I can use. So if you want it, Jim, you can have it. I'll bring it to the meeting.
bring it in and see if anybody salutes. Maybe not me, maybe the other guys, you know. But it sounds like you got a couple of things you need to work out if you have a dark room. And I'm usually sitting here with a bay window open, so I definitely have
Yeah,
maybe
yeah. This projector, it's one of the older projectors that definitely needs a darker area. Doesn't have to be completely dark, but it definitely works better if it's dark.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's a good projector, and the price is right, and I
Yeah.
just can't use it. And it's an HD projector. I mean, it's got HDMI input. It's got, it should probably date it. It's got VGA input. It's got serial input, which I'm guessing you could use your computer to control it. I'm not real sure.
Yeah,
It's
you can turn it on and off and
I'm
change power levels.
I'm fairly sure that it's got Ethernet. It does not have the Wi-Fi module. It had a spot for a Wi-Fi module. So I'm fairly certain it's got the Ethernet module in it. It's got composite. I think it's got component that's on the same thing. And then with the remote, that just makes it so much nicer to set up. It's got a little keypad on it that you can set it all up with the keypad, but the remote just makes it easier to do.
Next week is live, by the way.
But yeah, I'll throw it in the car and bring it down. Somebody
Okay.
will want it. Somebody can use it.
Yeah.
But that was another one of those, Mike found it somewhere.
Oh, I was gonna say, we're gonna make Mike take it. Oh, I didn't realize it came from Mike. Oh,
Mm,
Yeah. Like I said, he had two of them and one of them did not work. So it went
wow.
away. It went away pretty fast.
Okay.
The iPad that he gave me a couple weeks ago, finally got a cable for it. It actually works. It's
Cool.
actually it holds a charge and everything. I was actually kind of surprised. Shocked.
which version of iPad?
Told you those were tanks.
It's first gen. Yes, you were right. The only thing I can't figure out, Barry, is how to load new software on it.
You can't really. It won't let you access the store,
Yep.
but
The
you can
stores.
still use iTunes, and there's some other app that'll interface with it. You can load music and books and TV shows and stuff on it,
Well,
and
if
you can
you
still web browse to like internal stuff to download stuff to it.
if you can think of the app, just text me or email me or something. But yeah, I mean it's a tank. I was shocked. It holds a charge for day and a half, 2 days. And that's with using it. I mean, I'm sit there and play the games that were on it. So it's not something I normally would I never really would have considered buying an iPad or anything like that. But now that I've got it, it's actually kind of all right. It's all right.
There are
Yeah.
adapters to put that screen on other things.
That might be a good thing to do too.
Yeah, you can USB interface it to a computer too and make it a touchscreen.
Hey, you guys,
Like,
look at Leroy's right shoulder. Is something crawling around up under his shoulder?
Yeah,
Look, you had a mouse in your shoulder? Looks weird. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
right
that's what it is.
shoulder or left shoulder?
That thing, his
Is right.
microphone was moving
No,
around.
that's
And
my
you can't
leg.
see it, it's blacking it out, but every now and then you see it. Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. That was weird. Like he had a mouse up under his shirt.
I get there.
That's not a mouse.
That's not a mouse. That's my other person. My other person is trying to escape.
I wonder where that guinea pig went.
So M5 stack still doesn't have the dial yet. They're saying December 8th now. It was
Never-
November 30th. Now it's December 8th.
Never really thought about it, but I bet you could jailbreak load like side load apps on that old iPad.
I Googled that and everything that I found looked like it was for a different model or something else. I mean I was trying to wade through some of that stuff and I was like, oh, I don't know enough about Apple to actually know what I'm doing. So
No, I understand.
I don't know enough about which generation, if this generation is compatible with that generation and blah, blah, blah. And I'm assuming that they're all different because it's Apple. But yeah,
Yeah, they want to sell you the next generation, so they screw everything up on this one.
I'm just kind of impressed that given the age of that device, the battery actually holds a charge and holds a charge for, as good as, my phone. My phone will last 2 or 3 days. So It must have had a heck of a battery on it when it was new.
You can probably buy a replacement battery for it.
I wouldn't want to try to open this thing up. It looks like a nightmare to open it up.
They're not too bad. Hair dryer and time, and just don't go too quick.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you get that.
He's
Green.
shooting.
Green. It's
He's
green.
shooting a green light at us.
Yeah.
This is the charger.
Hmm.
So I don't know if you saw when Thea came in to give me my package. I got me a new Wii game. Wii Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot of the Titans. That came from eBay today for, I don't know, I think that was $3, $6 total with shipping and everything. cheap games. All right. We are going on 7 o'clock. So
Yeah.
we are in person next week.
I have
I
a
will-
quick
Yeah.
question.
Yes.
Anybody know what to do when your Amazon next day package is over a week and a half late?
Assume it's lost.
You can return or without having can ask
And
for your money.
I was gonna say I'd like to have the stuff, but
Have
I don't
you
want to get screwed like I did last time where they took it off my thing and I didn't get reimbursed my $50.
have you called them?
Not yet, but I was just looking at that and trying to figure out how to report it and like where the hell's my shit, because it's all posted again that they're available again for next day delivery, and it's like, well, I've been waiting for almost 10, well, over 10 days now. It's like,
Next year delivery.
Yeah.
I mean, in my case, I would order another one and then cancel the first one as soon as
Yeah.
you see that the second one is shipping.
well, yeah, but it's going to cost me like $100 more because it's all not Black Friday sales anymore.
Mm.
That's why I'm like kind of peeved off.
Call them.
You can contact the seller and just ask them.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I do that on eBay all the time. Hey, what's the deal?
yeah. Well, and that's all 4 items are supposedly shipped from Amazon, but they said they were picked up the day I ordered them in Maryland, and it's like they never arrived in Hebron, and it said your package is delayed.
I've got a package right now from Amazon that I'm waiting for that I ordered on November 15th. And had I known that it was going to be December 5th before I got the package, I probably wouldn't have ordered this.
I understand.
Um,
Well,
my
I have to say,
my wife got her thing from the same order, and I'm waiting for my thing. But I don't know.
They've got your name on a list there.
I don't know.
That's your
I've
man.
only had one real problem with Amazon, and I called them, and they pretty much fixed it almost immediately. So I would say call them.
alrighty. Thank you.
That would, I mean, that would be the best thing that I could think of doing.
Well, Amazon's got pretty good customer service
Yeah.
as retailers go.
Yeah, I had, it's 1 year for Christmas when we were living in Middletown. The driver dropped stuff off at the back door.
Well,
Yes, at the back door. No, there's no sign or anything that says go to the back door, and it's pretty obvious there's a front sliding door and there was a side door that looked like a front door. One of those two would be perfect, but he took it to the back door. And I called him up and I raised three kinds of heck about it. And she said, we'll fix it. And he came out, that they sent the driver back and he picked the package up and brought it around to the right door. I was like,
Oops.
okay, I guess that's fixing it.
I've had him drop off in Milford, larger packages by my garage door. And I assumed it was just because it was a heavy package, and he goes around past the garage door to come to the front door and so forth and so on. So probably just said, yeah, this is far enough.
Well, I mean, that was my one time that I had, and every package after that was delivered at the front door, at the actual front door. So
They put something, some kind of notice there.
Yeah.
So,
don't go back. The guy does not want his stuff at the back door. And I even told the lady I was talking to, you know, I might get going to the side door. It's kind of obvious, you know, it looks like a front door. It's on the side of the house, but why would you go around to the back of the house to drop the package off? She's like, they
so he
shouldn't
had
have
to go
done that.
past the front door to get around to the back.
Well, no, well, yeah, he had to go past the sliding door, the glass sliding door to at least get back there. He didn't necessarily have to go past the side door, but yeah, go figure that one out.
I'm trying to keep it from being stolen.
Yeah, I suppose.
Maybe.
But
Anyway, they fixed the problem. The lady even she even made sure that it was the right house, and she pulled my address up on the map, and she said, oh yeah, that our maps are actually showing your place somewhere else. And I'm like, okay. She said that might be why he got confused and took it to the back door. I'm like, well, that doesn't really make sense either, but whatever. So she updated all kinds of stuff. She put exactly where the house was and what the house looked like and which door to go to. It was all in there. There was a little comment on the next package I ordered that said, blah, 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 leave at either the side door or the sliding glass door.
And they finally get fixed and you moved. Oh,
So.
yeah.
Anyway, there's that mouse again.
Yep.
Anyway, it is now a little past 7. So
All of my Amazon deliveries now come with a photograph.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they started doing that because of all the theft that had started to happen.
Well, at one time, for some reason or another, I don't know if the driver was confused or whatever, but a lot of my packages would get delivered to one of my neighbors. And when they started the pictures, I would know right away because it wasn't my front porch, it was my neighbor's front porch. The good news was that, of course, I knew then where to go to get the thing.
my personal favorite was the picture where they set it behind the back wheel of the car in the driveway.
Oh, nice.
So you could
Yeah,
back right over it.
That's thoughtful.
Now that's vengeful there.
Yeah. Here's a good one for you before we go, because I know Patty's making food.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's cute.
Ah,
I posted that earlier in the week. It was awesome.
Now, you know, I would get up at 2:00 in the morning, look out and see my car and go, gotta call the cops. somebody's in my car.
You can go in California for the fast line,
The HOV lines.
fast
Yep.
lane. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that would be awesome. Until somebody pulled up next to you and realized it was just a mask.
Did you see the guy that got arrested in Seattle a couple years ago? He had a Yoda in his passenger seat, dressed up in a trench coat and a hat and
No,
a seatbelt. It was freaking hilarious.
when I lived down in Atlanta, there were several people that had mannequins, store mannequins sitting in their front seat so they could get in the HOV lanes. You drive past them going, yeah, that's a mannequin. So, okay. I know I got food waiting for me. So I will see everybody next week.
Take care.
Bye.
See
Have
ya.
fun.
Bye
See you.
now.
Have a good week.
Later,
Bye.
gang.
Bye.
Bye.